What's up, everybody? I'm here with another Meet the Rebellion, and today I'm here with WhyHelloStacy. Hi, hello, Stacy.
Hi, thanks for having me, Five.
So today we're going to be asking Stacy some questions about herself, so you can get to know her a little bit better. So to kick it off, what platform did you start on? Did you start on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer?
I started on Mixer. Haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
I started on Twitch. Yeah,
Okay.
I started about a little over 2 years ago,
Okay.
and I'm guilty to say I'm not really in YouTube very much,
Yeah.
but that's going to change.
That's fair. Okay. Okay. Is that changing soon?
I
Ish?
post like once a year, and I've
Okay.
been on there for like 2 years, so you know,
That's fair.
next one's coming next
I
year.
get it. Hey, one at a time.
Slow
That's
progress,
it.
you know. Baby
That's it.
steps.
So you are on TikTok though,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I am.
Correct. So do you prefer like live streaming, or do you prefer the kind of that short form content creation?
That's a great question. A little bit of both. I really prefer live streaming.
Okay.
Most of the time, I would say like 90% of the time, just because it's really a chance for me to be able to connect with my community. It's my favorite part of streaming. That's why I started. That's why I will continue to always be on Twitch and be a part of a community, whether it's my own community or someone else's. If something happens and I stop streaming, just because I've never felt more of a family presence until I found Twitch, and it's kind of crazy and a little nerdy to say, but I love it
No,
here.
not at all. So on Twitch, do you have anybody that like you look up to that kind of like inspired you to get started or inspires you to keep going?
When I first started Twitch, I didn't really understand the concept, and I think that's something that a lot of people can kind of agree on. Is it's a little weird to think about someone watching someone else play a game for hours on end, especially if it's like a story game and you end up watching the same person, you know, or a person play the same story beginning, middle, and end. It's kind of weird. Or you're watching, let's say, like a Fortnite game, and they're doing the same, you know, like 20-minute game over and over and over for the entire day, every single day of the week. It's kind of a weird concept.
Yeah.
But when you really dive into it, it's that community and that familial kind of friendship that really kind of like claws you in, and just it's nice. It's a nice home to have.
100%. The culture, I feel like, is what really sets Twitch apart kind of from YouTube and other platforms. Just that
100%.
that family feeling that creators can build with their communities. So you're talking about Fortnite. So with the games that you play, I know you don't play Fortnite primarily. Are you more competitive with the games you play, or are you like casual? Are you kind of like on and off depending on the day?
I would like to be competitive. I'm just not good enough to be that competitive. It's a little bit of both. It's casual, and I do rank on certain games like Valorant and Apex, so it is competitive in that sense. You know, I do want to play games to be better at them, and if, you know, God grants me with aim one of these days, maybe one of these days I will master them. But until then, it's a little bit of best of both worlds. Okay.
All right. So you said Valorant and Apex. Do you have one that you prefer? Like, which one is your favorite at the moment?
Okay, Valorant is just like a toxic ex that you don't want to like think about, and you don't want to like, but you do. You know, like it treats you terribly, but you just kind of keep going back to it, you know? But I love it. It's more different than any other game that I've ever played. So I started playing Fortnite, and Valorant is actually my first FPS game.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. I got really addicted to it. I started playing it during beta, and I love it. And I love the competitive nature of it. I actually wasn't really into competitive gaming until Valorant. Like, I never watched any of the tourneys, or I never really paid attention to pro teams or anything like that. Go 100 Thieves, by the way, until Valorant, and it's kind of cool.
100%. And it's like a whole different community, I feel like, from like kind of just the content creation to like the esports, like esports side of it.
It's really interesting to see the difference and how professional it all is, which isn't
Yes.
something that you really think about when you think of gaming. You think of like, you know, some kid in his mom's basement, you know, like playing on his controllers with his friends. But
Cheeto
no, it's
fingers.
exactly, exactly. But it's grown into so much more of like a professional field, and it's really
Yes.
intriguing to just watch.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we're still watching it grow. It's like kind of like a child
Yeah, I think
growing
it's
up.
just exactly. I
Yeah.
think it's really just starting now. I think with the whole pandemic and everyone starting to get into gaming and content creation as of, you know, the past couple years, I think it's really just we're really just starting to see it crawl. It's
Yeah.
gonna just skyrocket from here, I think.
100%. Yeah, I feel like the pandemic, as bad as it's been, was like for content creation was really like a big leap forward, because like most of the people that I know, they all got started like right at the beginning because they're like, well, I don't have anything
Yeah, you're
else to do.
home.
Yeah.
What do you do? And this is one of the main sources of, you know, interaction with other people and new friends. And it was a way for you to meet new friends. And I mean, even I've seen a lot of people develop relationships over the pandemic through
Yeah.
Twitch, you know? So it's a little Tinder too, apparently.
Absolutely. I've seen that a lot. Yeah. Or people try. I've seen a lot of people try to develop relationships.
Yeah.
And
It's interesting.
yeah, it is an interesting dynamic. So between Twitch and YouTube or TikTok, so streaming versus content creation, they're both like very similar, but they're both very different. And they kind of intertwine some. But as far as like live streaming and just creating like evergreen content that's always there, what do you consider to be more difficult for you?
I'm a very busy person.
Yeah.
I work a full-time job, and so outside of Twitch, I don't have a ton of time to devote myself to editing and creating content and kind of growing on other platforms. In an ideal world, I would love to be on TikTok a lot more, even do lives there. I would love to be more active on YouTube, but I think I really prefer I prefer streaming, and I like just that live aspect because it's just so much more personal.
Yes.
In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah. The personal part is like, I feel like what sets it apart, and kind of like why it's like some people are just completely drawn to it and don't even watch YouTube videos, or and that's why it's kind of hard to transfer back and forth sometimes for especially newer creators.
Right, it's a different ball game, but I will say there are advantages to things like YouTube's and TikToks, and you know it captures generally the best moments of your streams, and so hopefully that, you know, it engages new audience members to come join your live streams on Twitch, and that way they get to interact with this person. Maybe they saw a really cool viral video and now they get to see this person and see what they are on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, like my TikToks are all aces. In my Twitches, I'm just losing all the time. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's the highlights.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. So you were talking about like working outside of all this. So outside of work, outside of Twitch, what do you enjoy? What do you do? Like, what does Stacy do?
Well, for work, I'm an architect. It sounds really fancy, but I promise you it's very, very boring. Very technical. But aside from that sort of stuff, for fun, I'm very artistic. I love anything to deal with art. Growing up, I did a lot of dance. I danced competitively in school and out of school. And honestly, anything that's just beautiful to look at, whether it's going to museums or going to like art shows and exhibits, and anything that involves art just gets me, you know, interested.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I try to do, is always do something that just looks beautiful. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm from Oregon, so I loved watching like sunsets, like, so I totally get it. It's just like the view.
Even that, yeah, just enjoying looking at beautiful things, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so to wrap it up, do you have any goals for yourself going forward, like personal, professional, anything?
Well, I would think that everybody on Twitch eventually wants to hit partner. So hopefully that is coming my way soon. I will say though that I don't think I ever really started streaming as with partnership as a goal necessarily. I kind of started it just because I wanted to make more friends. I didn't know a lot of people who gamed, not a lot of females, 5 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever, not a lot of females gamed as much as now. And I think I wanted to try and find friends and build a community. And when I started streaming, I was like, that's kind of cool, like I have friends. And then one day someone messaged me and they told me how much I inspire them, and I was like what? I was so taken aback. And they just told me a really personal story about themselves and how just hanging out in my stream and getting to know somebody and just kind of seeing someone enjoy life and enjoy playing games and enjoy spending time with other people and being a sort of like positive influence really inspired them, and it helped them to get through some tough times or some lonely times or some difficult times. And I think from that moment I really started streaming to be there for my community, because as much as I am there for them, they're 100% there for me. Sometimes I'll be nervous about going live, or I'll have anxiety going live, and then I'll say just do it. And then 5 minutes later I'm smiling because my community makes me feel better. And I think that's just my goal, is to expand my community and just hopefully inspire maybe 1 or 2 more people along the way to be a little kinder to the world, a little kinder to themselves, because that's really important too. And I think that's something that a lot of people lack, is just being a little kinder to themselves, and I think we'd be a little bit better for it.
100%. That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. And I think that's kind of what's beautiful about Twitch, because like not only like do you get to create a home, but like the people that you create a home for like also make you feel at home, and like you can like kind of inspire you like that, just like you inspire them. But yeah. All right. So on that note, I think that wraps it up for us. So thank you guys so much for helping me get to know Stacy. Do you have anything that you want to plug? Any your next YouTube video?
WhyHelloStacy on YouTube, and sometime next year maybe. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. Come follow me, see all my Papega content.
All right. Perfect. Sounds good. All right. Thank you guys so much, and have a good one.
Thanks.
Perfect.